My greatest accomplishments are my relationships. I find contentment when I can pour into and nourish those around me. I want to nurture my ability to tell stories and help other people tell them too. When I was young, my mother opted out of raising me in her native language and pushed my brother and I to master English. She didn't want us to be disadvantaged in school or life. I understand where she's coming from. Her parents were immigrants in Brazil. They didn't know a lick of Portuguese, and she was raised in a household of Hakka, Japanese, and Mandarin. That, and cultural differences, made it hard for her parents to find jobs and for her to find friends. Now, she's an immigrant in the United States. She's been here almost 30 years and still experiences microaggressions for her unconventional phrases and pronunciations. She exclusively raised us in English, so we wouldn't experience these hardships. But for a long time, I sort of felt resentful at her for making those decisions on my behalf. I can't speak to my grandparents, my uncle, my cousins. Her whole side of the family is still in Brazil, and I feel that separation from them, not just because of the ocean, but due to the language barrier too. I have never received my grandmother's stories or shared my own, and unfortunately, I will never have that opportunity. But years have passed, and I think I finally understand her. Living in a heavily Spanish-speaking area my whole life, I've seen how language, like education, can either open doors to opportunities or slam them shut. I now have the privilege to study language and explore the exploitative essence of dominant languages like English. I see how speaking the imperial language gives some power and marginalizes everyone else. I'm lucky to be an assistant teacher in an English as a second language night class for adults. For over a year, I've grappled with joy and sorrow in that classroom. I'm grateful to sit with people from other cultures who are willing to share their lives with me. And I'm honored to equip people with English skills to help them access resources and opportunities. But at the same time, I feel so frustrated at myself for feeding into linguistic oppression. I'm angry that I have to enable this community from within the structures that perpetuate English as the exclusive dominant language. I'm angry because sometimes when I'm teaching English, I feel instead like I'm teaching people how to hide their native language. And this is the very thing that I struggled against in my own home, having my family's native languages hidden from me. One time, a Vietnamese couple brought their first grade daughter into class. She whispered to me, and me only, because she didn't want to make the adults in the class feel self-conscious when they compared their English to hers. She felt embarrassed and confused that somehow she knew the spelling and pronunciation and meaning of English words that her parents didn't know. I felt honored to hear her stories and have her presence in the class. I was even more honored to be gifted with her drawings. I keep them as a reminder of humility and the importance of narrative building and community storytelling. Every day, my eyes are open to systemic issues like language dominance or healthcare inequalities that create barriers for people. I want to listen to people's stories. I want to be more aware of how we make meaning out of things. I want to practice gathering information and being brave enough to offer what I can, even though I often feel like it will never be enough. I want a richer and more nuanced understanding of the world around me and the role that I've been called to play. There's no better space for this than social entrepreneurship. Come with me as I practice meaning making and vision defining. Join me as I learn how to better tell my story and help other people find theirs along the way.